Tonight, we're going to talk about something that still puzzles the brightest minds in astronomy, not because the universe is frightening, but because it doesn't add up. Actually, it genuinely doesn't add up. Right now, as you settle into the quiet of your room and the world around you grows still, we are looking at things out there in the deep space that behave in ways they simply aren't supposed to. Things that, according to our best scientific models, shouldn't exist at all. Things that seem to bend or even break the fundamental rules we thought we understood about reality. And I'm not talking about science fiction. I'm not talking about wild internet speculation. I'm talking about real data, real measurements, real objects that our telescopes have observed and recorded. The uncomfortable truth is, in several cases, we still don't know what we're looking at. For decades, we thought we had the instruction manual for the universe. We thought we understood how stars were born, how galaxies grew, and how the fabric of spacetime behaved. We were wrong. The deeper we look into the dark, the more the universe seems to be mocking our intelligence. Tonight, we travel from our own cosmic backyard out to discoveries so massive and so strange they make our entire Milky Way look like a tiny, insignificant smudge of dust. Imagine a single structure in space 16 million light-years long. That is so large that our entire galaxy, with its 400 billion suns, could be lost inside it 600 times over. To help your mind hold that number, remember what a light-year really is. If you were to shine a flashlight from one side of our galaxy to the other, your children, your grandchildren, and your great-great-grandchildren, multiplied across 4,000 generations, would all be born and pass away into history long before that light reached the other side. And yet tonight, we are looking at things that make even that scale look small. We are going to explore a star that dims in ways that should be physically impossible, a massive hole in space that could hold 10,000 galaxies, yet remains empty, and a signal from 1977 that remains the most haunting unanswered phone call in human history. You will see why these discoveries are the ultimate cosmic puzzles, mysteries that might be the most important evidence of our time. Before we begin our journey into the infinite, if you find peace and wonder in these deep space explorations, please take a moment to subscribe and leave a like. It is a small gesture, but it truly helps this community of curious minds grow and allows us to keep bringing the mysteries of the stars a little closer to you. Now, let the world of your daily worries vanish. Let the numbers stop being math and start being feelings. Let the silence of the room around you become the silence of the stars. Let's start with a moment that changed the search for life forever. Imagine it is the night of August 15th, 1977. A man named Jerry Amon is sitting in a quiet office at Ohio State University, reviewing a stack of computer printouts from the Big Ear radio telescope. For years, the static had been silent, but on this night, Amon saw something that made him grab a red pen and write a single word in the margin of the printout. Wow. For 72 seconds, a signal 30 times stronger than the background hum of space beamed directly into our telescopes. It came from a specific spot in the constellation Sagittarius, and what makes it so mysterious is the frequency. It was broadcast at 1420 megahertz. For an astronomer, that number is sacred. It is the frequency of hydrogen, the most common element in the universe. Scientists have long reasoned that if an alien civilization wanted to send a beacon that anyone could recognize, they would choose the universal language of hydrogen. It is the cosmic equivalent of a hello in a language everyone understands. But then it vanished. The Big Ear telescope had two separate receivers. As the Earth turned, the first receiver caught the signal perfectly. But when the second receiver passed over the same spot just 3 minutes later, the sky was silent. The signal had vanished. For nearly 50 years, we have returned to that exact spot in the sky hundreds of times. We have used our most advanced telescopes, listened across every possible frequency, and waited for years. Nothing. The wow signal was a one-time whisper in the dark that never came back. Was it a signal from a passing comet? Or was it a deliberate transmission from a technology we cannot yet comprehend? The truth is, the more we try to explain it with natural causes, the less the math seems to fit. It remains a mystery frozen in time, a reminder that the universe might be calling us, even if we only catch the signal once. But as strange as a one-time signal is, it is nothing compared to the things that are still out there right now, actively breaking our rules. Over the last few decades, as our telescopes have gotten better and our view of the universe has sharpened, we've started noticing anomalies everywhere. We are like detectives arriving at a crime scene that is billions of light years wide. We are piecing together a story where most of the pages have been ripped out, and the ones that remain are written in a code we are still trying to crack. Every time we find something that doesn't add up, we are forced to ask, did we misunderstand the laws of nature? Or are there processes in the dark that we simply haven't identified yet? Tonight, we are going to travel through these cracks in our understanding. We will move past the familiar constellations of your childhood and into the intergalactic night. We will start with the rogue planets, lonely worlds with no sun and no seasons. We will look at the great nothing, a hole in the universe so empty it feels like a wound. We will look at stars that have turned into giant, cold diamonds, and we will face the great attractor, an invisible titan that is pulling us toward an unknown fate at hundreds of miles per second. The light of our home is fading, and the mysteries of the deep are beginning to emerge from the shadows like giants waking from a long sleep. The journey into the strange is not a race, it is a slow, steady drift. The destinations are quiet, the scale is infinite, and the peace is becoming total. Take a slow, deep breath now. Visualize our ship, our silent needle made of light, drifting beyond the protective bubble of our sun. We are leaving the world of humans behind. We are becoming part of the stars. Imagine the universe is a massive, dark house. For all of human history, we have been standing in one tiny room, our solar system, holding a single flickering candle. We looked at the furniture in our room and thought we knew what the whole house looked like. But in the last few decades, we have started to open the doors. We have stepped out into the hallways, and what we are finding is terrifying. We are finding rooms that are miles high, ceilings that are made of fire, and basements that contain nothing but absolute silence. The problem is that our brains were never designed to understand the scale of this house. We are creatures of the surface. We understand the length of a day, the height of a mountain, and the distance of a sea. But the cosmos operates on a scale that makes these measurements look like jokes. Imagine you are holding a single grain of salt in your hand. That grain of salt represents the entire Earth. On that same scale, our sun would be a small ball a few inches away. But the Milky Way, it would be a desert that stretches for thousands of miles. And the mysterious things we are going to talk about tonight, they are the mountains and oceans of that desert. They are so large that if you stood next to them, your grain of salt wouldn't just be small, it would be invisible. It would be a ghost of a pixel in a high-definition movie. Most people think that science is a series of answers, but for an astronomer, science is a series of wait that can't be right moments. We find things that shouldn't be there. We find structures so large they challenge the very idea that the universe is uniform. They suggest that the cosmic web, the skeleton of everything, has knots in it that we can't untie. Tonight we travel through these knots. We are going to look at things that shouldn't be possible. We are going to question the very fabric of space and time. And by the end, you will realize that we are just small observers of a grand, terrifying, and beautiful masterpiece. Let's begin our long walk through the library of the strange. Let's start with the worlds that have no home, the worlds that wander the void in eternal night, with no sun to warm them and no morning to wake them. The rogue planets. The light is fading, the journey is starting, let us continue. To understand what it means to be truly lost in the universe, we have to look at the loneliest objects ever discovered. Imagine waking up on a world where the sun never rises, not just because it's winter or because you're at the poles, but because there is no sun at all. There is no morning, no noon, and no evening. There is only an eternal, unchanging midnight. The sky above you is not blue. It is a deep, terrifying black, filled with stars that never fade. You are standing on a planet that has no home, a world that was kicked out of its own solar system billions of years ago and is now drifting through the absolute zero of the void. These are the rogue planets, and they are far more common and far more mysterious than anyone realized. For a long time, we thought we knew how planets worked. We thought they were like children, forever tethered to their parents, the stars. We assumed that every planet in the universe was locked in a stable orbit, circling a sun that provided it with light and warmth. We were wrong. In the last decade, astronomers have discovered that for every star in our galaxy, there might be 2 or 3 planets wandering the dark alone. If there are 400 billion stars in the Milky Way, that means there could be over 1 trillion rogue planets drifting through the silence between the suns. We are living in a galaxy filled with ghosts, worlds that belong nowhere and to no one. Think about the violence required to create a rogue world. A planet doesn't just decide to leave its home, it is exiled. Imagine a young solar system, billions of years ago, full of dust and gas and newly forming planets. It is a chaotic place. Sometimes 2 giant planets like our Jupiter and Saturn drift too close to each other. Their gravity pulls and tugs until one of them is flung outward like a stone from a slingshot. Or perhaps a passing star wanders too close to the system, disrupting the delicate balance of orbits. In a matter of a few thousand years, a world the size of Earth or even larger is pushed into the dark. It watches its sun get smaller and dimmer until the light finally vanishes. The oceans freeze solid, the atmosphere collapses and falls to the ground as snow. The world goes silent. But here is the first major twist that puzzles scientists. Even though these worlds have no sun, they aren't all dead, frozen rocks. Some of them are actually hot. In 2012, astronomers discovered a rogue planet called CFB-DSIR 2149. It is about 7 times more massive than Jupiter. It is young and it is glowing. Because it is so massive, the internal heat from its formation hasn't escaped yet. If you were to see it through an infrared telescope, it would look like a dark, moody ember glowing in the fireplace of the void. It has weather, it has clouds of molten iron and hot dust swirling in its atmosphere. It is a world of permanent storms, raging in total darkness. As you settle deeper into the quiet of the night, let your mind rest on the sheer scale of this isolation. To be a rogue planet is to be the ultimate survivor. These worlds travel for millions of light years without ever touching the warmth of a star. They move through the interstellar medium, the thin, cold soup of gas that fills the space between galaxies, and because they have no star to light them up, they are nearly impossible to find. We only stumble across them by accident, usually when their gravity passes in front of a distant star and bends the light like a magnifying glass. We call this microlensing. It's like trying to find a black cat in a dark room. By watching for the moment, it blocks the light of a tiny candle on the far wall. But there is an even deeper mystery hiding on these lonely wanderers. Scientists have started to ask a question that sounds like it belongs in a dream. Could there be life on a rogue planet? At first, the idea seems absurd. Life needs energy. Life needs warmth. How could anything survive on a world that is hundreds of degrees below zero? Here is the second twist. Life doesn't necessarily need a sun. It only needs heat and liquid water. Think about the Earth. Deep at the bottom of our oceans, far beyond where any sunlight can reach, there are volcanic vents. Around these vents, entire ecosystems thrive on the heat and minerals coming from inside the Earth. Now, imagine a rogue planet with a thick atmosphere of hydrogen. Hydrogen is a powerful greenhouse gas. If the planet is large enough, its own internal core, heated by radioactive decay, could keep the rocks warm. Beneath a thick crust of ice, there could be massive, global oceans of liquid water that have stayed warm for billions of years. In the total darkness of a rogue world, an entire alien civilization could exist in a subsurface ocean, never knowing that stars exist, never knowing that there is such a thing as a sun. To them, the universe would be a dark, warm sea. They would be the ultimate steppenwolves of the cosmos, independent and isolated. This realization changes the way we look at the search for life. It means the habitable zone, that golden circle around a star, isn't the only place where biology can happen. The universe might be full of life, hidden in the dark on worlds we can't even see. Now let's look at the third twist, the one that makes these planets truly mysterious. Some rogue planets aren't just drifting, They are moving in patterns that suggest they were never part of a solar system at all. We have found objects that look like planets but formed like stars, collapsing directly from clouds of gas. We call them sub-brown dwarfs. They are the in-between things. They are too small to ignite and become suns, but too large to be called normal planets. They are failed stars, wandering the galaxy like orphans who never found their place. And then there is the most unsettling possibility of all. Astronomers have calculated that there could be rogue planets much closer to us than we think. There could be a world the size of Mars, or even Earth drifting in the Oort cloud, at the very edge of our own solar system. It would be so dark and move so slowly that our current telescopes would never notice it. It could be sitting there right now, a silent neighbor watching us from the shadows. Every few million years, these wanderers might pass through our neighborhood, their gravity tugging on our comets and sending them screaming toward the Earth. When you think about rogue planets, the human standards of home and safety fall apart. We feel safe because we have a sun. We feel safe because our orbits are stable. But the galaxy is a graveyard of broken families and exiled worlds. We are the exception. The rogue planets are the rule. They remind us that the universe is not just a collection of bright lights. It is a vast, echoing hall of hidden places. They are the glitches in our model of how solar systems should work. As you get sleepier and the silence of the night surrounds you, imagine the view from a rogue planet one more time. You are standing on a surface of frozen methane. The stars above are brilliant, sharp, and steady because there is no thick atmosphere to make them twinkle. You look out at the horizon and there is nothing but the curve of the world and the infinite black. There is a strange, deep beauty in this loneliness. There is no noise here, no wind, no life on the surface, just the eternal peace of the void. In a world where time doesn't matter, we could wait on the surface of a rogue planet for 1 billion years. We would watch the entire Milky Way rotate. We would see constellations change and die. We would see other rogue worlds pass by like ships in the night. We would realize that these wanderers aren't lost. They are simply traveling on a scale we can't understand. They are the long-distance travelers of the cosmos, carrying their internal fires through the winter of the universe. But as strange as a world without a sun is, there are things in the deep space that are even harder to explain. Things that don't just lack a star, but lack matter itself. Things that look like giant, empty wounds in the fabric of the universe. Places where thousands of galaxies should be, but are simply gone. Take a final, slow breath and let the darkness of the rogue planets fade into the background of your mind. We are moving further out now. We are leaving the individual worlds behind and looking at the structure of the universe itself. We are heading toward the Great Nothing, a place that keeps astronomers up at night because it challenges the very idea of how the universe was built. The silence is getting deeper. The scale is getting larger. Let us move to the next mystery in our library of the impossible. The Boötes Void. The light is gone, the journey continues. Let us move forward. As we drift away from the lonely, lightless world of the rogue planets, we begin to move toward a different kind of mystery. We've looked at worlds that have too little light. Now, we are going to look at a world that has too much. Imagine looking through a telescope and finding a planet that looks exactly like a second Earth. From a distance, it glows with a deep, beautiful cobalt blue. It looks like a world of vast oceans, white clouds, and a peaceful atmosphere. It looks like home, but as we get closer, we realize that the color is a lie. The blue isn't water, and the clouds aren't made of rain. This is HD 189,733b, and it is perhaps the most violent and impossible weather system ever discovered in the cosmic dark. Tonight, we explore a place that scientists call the Beautiful Nightmare. It sits 64 light-years away in the constellation Vulpecula. To your human mind, 64 light-years is a manageable distance, close enough that we can see the star it orbits with a good pair of binoculars. But everything about this planet defies the laws of nature as we know them. We thought we understood how weather worked. We thought we knew the limits of how fast a wind could blow or how hot a planet could get. We were wrong. HD 189,733b is a planet that shouldn't exist the way it does, yet it is out there right now, performing a dance of fire and glass that makes our most powerful hurricanes look like a gentle summer breeze. Imagine standing on the surface of this giant. I use the word surface loosely because HD 189,733b is a gas giant, much larger than our Jupiter. There is no solid ground to stand on. If you were to descend into its atmosphere, the first thing you would notice is the heat. It is a hot Jupiter, orbiting so close to its sun that it completes a full year in just over 2 Earth days. Because it is so close, the temperature in its atmosphere is over 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit. That is hot enough to melt lead and hot enough to turn rock into liquid. But the heat isn't even the strangest part. As you settle deeper into the quiet of the night, let your mind rest on the first major twist of this world, the wind. On Earth, the fastest wind ever recorded was a gust of about 250 miles per hour during a tropical cyclone. It was enough to level buildings and uproot trees. On HD 189,733b, the winds move at 5,400 miles per hour. That is 7 times the speed of sound. If you were to release a sound on this planet, the wind would carry it away faster than the noise could travel. At that speed, the atmosphere isn't just moving, it is screaming. It is a supersonic jet stream that circles the entire planet, carrying heat from the day side to the night side in a never-ending loop of chaos. Think about what that kind of speed means for your body. At 5,000 miles per hour, the air itself becomes a weapon. But on this planet, the air is full of something even more terrifying than heat. This brings us to the second twist, the one that gives this planet its name. The deep blue color that we see from space isn't caused by an ocean. It is caused by clouds of silicates. Silicates are the primary component of glass. Because the planet is so hot, the sand and rocks on its surface have been vaporized into the atmosphere, where they condense into tiny, microscopic shards of glass. Imagine a rainstorm on this world. On Earth, rain falls from the sky in gentle drops. On HD 189,733b, it rains molten glass. And because the winds are moving at 7 times the speed of sound, the rain doesn't fall down. It flies sideways. It is a horizontal storm of jagged, liquid glass, moving faster than a bullet. If you were to stand there for a single second, you wouldn't just be burned by the heat, you would be shredded by millions of microscopic glass shards. It is a planetary-scale woodchipper, operating at temperatures that defy logic. This is the kind of discovery that makes astronomers realize our models of habitable or stable worlds are far too simple. Most people carry the idea that blue in space equals life. We are trained to look for our own reflection in the cosmos, but HD 189,733b is a warning. It is a reminder that the universe can use the same colors we love to hide environments that are fundamentally hostile to everything we are. It is a glitch in our expectation of beauty. Why does it have so much silicate? Why hasn't the atmosphere been blown away by the sun? These are the cracks in our understanding. We have found that the planet is actually losing its atmosphere. The intense radiation from its sun is stripping away thousands of tons of gas every second, creating a giant, glowing tail behind the planet, like a comet made of glass and fire. As you get sleepier and the silence of the room surrounds you, imagine the view from a ship safe in orbit above this blue giant. You see the beautiful cobalt curves of the clouds. You see the flashes of lightning in the depths, thousands of times more powerful than any bolt on Earth. You realize that you are looking at a masterpiece of extreme physics. It is a world that is literally evaporating as it screams around its star. There is a strange, hypnotic peace in watching such a violent place from a distance. It reminds us that our Earth is a very rare and very quiet place in a universe that prefers the extreme. But as mysterious as a planet of sideways glass rain is, we eventually have to look past the individual worlds. We have to look at the gaps between them. In our library of the impossible, we have found things that aren't just strange, because of what they contain, but because of what they don't contain. We have found holes in the universe that are so large they challenge the very idea of how the cosmos was built, places where matter simply stopped existing. Take a final, slow breath. and let the blue fire of HD 189,733 be fade into the background of your thoughts. We are leaving the atmosphere of glass behind. We are moving further out, beyond the stars, beyond the nebulae, and into the true intergalactic night. We are heading toward the great nothing, a place so empty it feels like a wound in reality, a place where even light feels lonely. The silence is getting heavier. The scale is growing beyond human comprehension. Let us move to the next mystery in our library of the strange. The Boötes Void. The fire is fading. The journey into the empty is starting. Let us move forward. Tonight, we drift away from the world of fire, glass, and screaming winds. We have seen how the universe can build planets that defy our imagination, but now we must face something even more mysterious. It is not an object. It is not a star. It is not a galaxy. In fact, it is the exact opposite. Today, we explore the absence of everything. We are heading into a region of space so large, so empty, and so silent that it shouldn't exist according to every model of cosmology we have ever built. Astronomers call it the Boötes Void, but to those who study the deep dark, it is known simply as the Great Nothing. It is a massive, hollow wound in the fabric of the universe, and it is perhaps the strangest discovery ever made in the intergalactic night. Imagine, as you lie there in the perfect stillness of your room, that we are leaving the Milky Way behind. We are pushing out past the clusters of galaxies that form our local neighborhood. Usually, as you travel through space, the sky is a busy place. You see galaxies everywhere, shimmering spirals and glowing ellipticals, scattered like grains of sugar on a black table. But as we enter the constellation of Boötes, the lights begin to fade. One by one, the galaxies disappear. The sugar grains vanish. Ahead of us, there is nothing but a wall of absolute, unrelenting darkness. We have entered a bubble of space 330 million light-years wide. To your human mind, 300 million light-years is a number that has no meaning. But let us try to feel it. Think about our own galaxy, the Milky Way. It is so large that light takes 100,000 years to cross it. Now, imagine taking that massive city of stars and lining it up end to end. To cross the Boötes Void, you would need to line up 3,300 Milky Ways. If you were in a ship traveling at the speed of light, it would take you 330 million years just to get to the other side. This is not just an empty room. It is a vast, echoing ocean of nothingness that makes up 0.27% of the entire observable universe. It is a scale of nothing that challenges the very laws of how the universe was supposed to grow. As you settle deeper into the quiet of the night, let your mind rest on the first major twist of this mystery, the missing galaxies. According to the standard model of the Big Bang, matter in the universe is spread out like a web. We call it the cosmic web. Gravity pulls gas and dark matter together into long filaments, and where those filaments meet, galaxies form. Between the filaments, there are always empty spaces or voids. This is normal, but the Boötes Void is not normal. Based on the average density of the universe, a region of this size should contain at least 2,000 large galaxies. It should be a bustling metropolis of stars. But when astronomers pointed our most sensitive telescopes at this region in 1981, they found something disturbing. Instead of 2,000 galaxies, they found almost nothing. For years, we thought it was completely empty. Today, we know there are about 60 galaxies hiding in that vast darkness. 60. Think about that comparison. If the rest of the universe is a crowded city street at noon, the Boötes Void is a desert where you might see one person every 100 miles. These 60 galaxies are the loneliest objects in existence. They are separated by such vast distances of empty space that if you lived on a planet inside one of them, you would look up at your night sky and see nothing. No other galaxies, no faint smudges of light. You would believe that your galaxy was the only thing in the entire universe. Humanity didn't even realize other galaxies existed until the 1920s. If we had been born inside the Boötes Void, we might not have discovered the truth until the 21st century. This brings us to the second twist, the one that keeps researchers up at night, the shape of the void. Scientists have discovered that the Boötes void isn't just one giant bubble. It looks like it was formed by the merging of smaller bubbles. Imagine several soap bubbles in a sink coming together to form one massive, irregular shape. But for this to happen, something very strange must have occurred in the early universe. Gravity is supposed to pull things together, not push them apart so violently that it creates a hole this large. Some rogue theories suggest that we are looking at the work of something artificial, a massive, ancient civilization that harvested the energy of thousands of galaxies, leaving behind an empty shell. While most astronomers dismiss this as science fiction, the fact that they even discuss it shows how desperate they are for an answer. The math of the Boötes void simply doesn't add up. Most people think that empty space is just a place where nothing is happening, but in the cosmic dark, a void is a physical force. Because there is so little matter inside the Boötes void, there is very little gravity. This means the void is actually expanding. It is pushing against the surrounding filaments of galaxies, acting like a giant, invisible balloon that is getting bigger and bigger. It is a glitch in the structure of reality. If the universe is a house, the Boötes void is a room where the floor, the walls, and the ceiling have all disappeared, and no one knows why. Before we move deeper into the mysteries of the invisible, I want to pause and invite you to join our community of thinkers. If you find peace in these deep space journeys and value this perspective on the mysteries that defy our logic, please take a second to subscribe and like the video. It is your curiosity that keeps this channel moving forward, allowing us to build these long-form documentaries for you to enjoy as you rest. It is a small gesture, but it helps us reach across the void to more curious minds like yours. Now, let us return to the silence. Think about the silence of the Boötes void one more time. It is a silence that has lasted for 13 billion years. In the dense parts of the universe, galaxies are constantly colliding, stars are exploding, and black holes are feeding. There is constant motion and noise, but inside the great nothing, everything is still. The 60 galaxies that live there are like survivors of a cosmic shipwreck, drifting so far apart that they can never even see each other's signals. There is a strange, hypnotic beauty in this absolute isolation. It reminds us that for all the light and life we see in our own sky, the default state of the universe is actually this: a vast, cold, and empty dark. As you get sleepier and the silence of the room surrounds you, imagine our ship, our silent needle made of light, entering the very center of the Boötes void. We are now 150 million light-years away from the nearest galaxy. If you look out the window, you see nothingness, just pure unfiltered black. There is no radiation here, no heat, no light. You are in the loneliest place that nature allows. It is a place of supreme rest. There are no worries here because there is nothing to worry about. There are no goals to reach because there is no destination in sight. You are just a point of awareness in a sea of infinite peace. But as mysterious as a giant hole in the universe is, eventually we have to ask, where did all that matter go? If gravity pulled it away, where is it being pulled to? In our library of the impossible, we have found that the universe doesn't just have places of nothing. It also has places of too much. We have found an invisible titan, hiding behind the stars of our own galaxy, that is acting like a cosmic drain. It is pulling us, our sun, our Milky Way, and millions of other galaxies toward a single point in the dark at speeds we can't explain. Take a final, slow breath and let the empty darkness of the Boötes void fade into the background of your mind. We are leaving the great nothing behind. We are moving towards something much more powerful and much more frightening. We are heading toward the great attractor, a mystery that isn't defined by what is missing, but by an invisible force that refuses to let us go. The silence is shifting from empty to tense. The scale is shifting from the void to the titan. Let us move to the next mystery in our library of the strange. The great attractor. The journey continues. The pull is getting stronger. Let us move forward. Tonight, we drift away from the silence of the Boötes void. We have spent time in the great nothing, feeling the weight of an empty bubble 300 million light-years wide. It was a place where gravity seemed to have lost its grip. But as we move further into our library of the impossible, we find that the universe has a way of balancing itself. For every place where there is nothing, there is another place where there is far too much. Today we explore the most powerful and mysterious gravitational force in our cosmic neighborhood. We are heading toward an invisible titan that is pulling us, our sun, our Milky Way, and hundreds of thousands of other galaxies toward a single point in the dark. Astronomers call it the Great Attractor, and it is a discovery that challenges the very idea that the universe is expanding smoothly. It is a cosmic drain, and we are slowly falling into it. Imagine as you lie there in the deep stillness that you are no longer standing on a stable planet. Instead, imagine that you are a leaf caught in a very large, very slow river. For all of human history, we believed that the Milky Way was just drifting through space, moving along with the general expansion of the universe. We thought the Big Bang had pushed everything away in a nice, even pattern. But in the 1970s, astronomers began to notice something was wrong. Our leaf wasn't just moving with the current, it was being pulled toward a specific spot on the horizon. We are moving at a staggering speed of 600 kilometers per second, that is over 1.3 million miles per hour. As you sleep tonight, you are traveling toward this mystery faster than any rocket could ever carry you. This brings us to the first major twist of the Great Attractor, the zone of avoidance. You might wonder, if something this massive is pulling our entire galaxy, why can't we just point a telescope at it and see what it is? The answer is both frustrating and mysterious. We can't see the Great Attractor because our own home is in the way. Imagine you are trying to look at a massive mountain in the distance, but there is a thick, dark forest right in front of your house. The Milky Way is that forest. Our galaxy is filled with billions of stars and massive clouds of cosmic dust and gas. This dust is so thick that it blocks the light from the universe behind it. Astronomers call this region the zone of avoidance. The Great Attractor is hiding right in the center of that dark zone. It is as if the universe purposefully placed a screen between us and the titan that is pulling us to our fate. Think about the irony of our position. We have built telescopes that can see back to the beginning of time. We have mapped galaxies billions of light years away, but we struggle to see what is happening in our own backyard because the very stars we live among are blinding us. For decades, the Great Attractor was just a ghost, a mathematical gravity, well, that we could feel but never touch with our eyes. It wasn't until we started using X-ray and radio telescopes, which can see through the dust like a flashlight through a fog, that we finally got our first glimpse of what lies at the end of our river. As you settle deeper into the quiet of the night, let your mind rest on the second twist, the galactic metropolis. When astronomers finally peered through the dust of the Milky Way, they didn't find one giant object. They found a series of massive galaxy clusters, packed together in a way that defies logic. At the heart of the Great Attractor sits the Norma Cluster, a group of thousands of galaxies so dense that their combined gravity creates a pit in space-time. But even the Norma Cluster isn't enough to explain the pull we are feeling. Around it are even more clusters, like the Centaurus Cluster and the Hydra Cluster. Together, they form a supercluster of unimaginable scale. This is a cosmic metropolis, a place where matter is so concentrated that it has stopped following the rules of expansion. While the rest of the universe is flying apart, this region is pulling everything in. This brings us to a question that sounds like it belongs in a dream. Are we in danger? If we are being pulled toward this titan at over 1 million miles per hour, what happens when we arrive? This is the third twist, the one that provides a strange kind of comfort. Even though we are moving toward the Great Attractor, we will likely never reach it. Why? Because of the race between expansion and gravity. While the Great Attractor is pulling us closer, the universe itself is stretching the space between us. It is like trying to walk toward the back of a train while the train is moving forward at 10 times your speed. By the time we get close to where the attractor is now, it will have moved even further away. We are chasing a ghost that is always out of reach. But there is an even deeper mystery hiding behind the Great Attractor. Scientists have discovered that the Great Attractor itself is moving. It isn't the final destination. Today we explore the concept of dark flow. Just as we are being pulled by the attractor and everything around it is being pulled by something even larger and even further away. We call this the Shapley supercluster. It is the largest concentration of matter in the known universe, located 650 million light-years away. It is so massive that its gravitational influence stretches across the entire sky. It is the Titan behind the Titan. Before we move further into the scale of these giant structures, I want to pause and welcome you to our community of explorers. If you find peace in these journeys and value this perspective on the invisible forces that shape our existence, please take a moment to subscribe and like the video. It is your presence here that allows us to keep exploring the deep reaches of space together, providing you a sanctuary for rest and wonder. It is a small gesture, but it truly helps us bring the beauty of the cosmos a little closer to you. Now let us return to the pool. Imagine the view if you could step outside the Milky Way and see the whole picture. You would see a vast glowing web of galaxies, all flowing like a network of rivers. You would see our galaxy, the leaf, being pulled into the stream of the Great Attractor. You would see the Great Attractor being pulled into the massive ocean of the Shapley supercluster. This is the velocity flow of the universe. It shows us that nothing in space is ever truly alone or still. Everything is part of a hierarchy of movement. We are part of a structure called Laniakea, a Hawaiian word meaning immeasurable heaven. Laniakea is our home supercluster, a region 500 million light-years wide that contains our galaxy and the Great Attractor. It is a beautiful, fragile structure of light, held together by gravity in a universe that is otherwise trying to tear itself apart. Think about the silence of this movement. You don't feel the pull. You don't feel the speed of 1,000,000 miles per hour, but it is happening right now in the dark. The Great Attractor is a glitch in our expectation of a simple, expanding universe. It reminds us that matter likes to be near matter. It reminds us that gravity is a patient hunter. For billions of years, this invisible Titan has been quietly calling to us, and for billions of years, we have been answering. There is a strange, hypnotic peace in knowing that we are part of this grand, invisible migration. We aren't just drifting aimlessly, we have a direction. We are part of a cosmic current. Most people carry the idea that the universe is a place where everything is just there, but the Great Attractor shows us that the universe is a place where everything is going. It is a dynamic living system. Why is there so much mass in that one spot? Why did the cosmic web create such a deep knot in the direction of Centaurus? These are the cracks in our understanding of the early universe. Maybe there was a density fluctuation just after the Big Bang that was larger than we thought possible. Or maybe there are forces at work on the largest scales that our current physics doesn't yet understand. As you get sleepier and the silence of the room surrounds you, imagine our ship, that silent needle of light, drifting along this gravitational river. We are no longer fighting the current. We are embracing it. We are moving past the dust clouds of the Milky Way, finally seeing the glowing metropolis of the Norma cluster ahead. We see the thousands of galaxies, each with their own billions of stars, huddled together in the dark. We realize that we are just one small family in a much larger city. The Great Attractor isn't a monster. It is a hub. It is the heart of our corner of the universe. But as mysterious as an invisible Titan is, the universe has even smaller things that are just as strange. Things that aren't defined by their massive pull across millions of light years, but by their incredible power in a tiny space. In our library of the impossible, we have found stars that can warp reality with their magnetic fields, stars that could erase every digital memory on Earth from the distance of the moon. We have found magnets so powerful they challenge the very laws of atomic physics. Take a final, slow breath and let the invisible pull of the Great Attractor fade into the background of your mind. We are leaving the intergalactic rivers behind. We are zooming back in, from the scale of superclusters to the scale of a single terrifying star. We are heading toward the magnetars, a mystery that isn't about the absence of matter or the pull of galaxies, but about the absolute, crushing power of a magnetic field. The tension is shifting from the distance to the power. The scale is shifting from the infinite to the intimate. let us move to the next mystery in our library of the strange. The magnetars. The journey continues. The stars are waiting. Let us move forward. Tonight, we drift away from the massive, invisible rivers of the intergalactic void and return to the scale of individual stars. We have seen how the universe can pull on entire galaxies across millions of light years, but now, we are going to look at a power that is concentrated into a space no larger than a city. Today, we explore the most terrifyingly powerful magnets in existence. We are heading toward the magnetars, a class of dead stars that challenge our understanding of how matter can even exist. These are the remnants of suns that died in a violent flash, only to be reborn as something far more dangerous. In our library of the impossible, the magnetar is the ultimate glitched star. It is a place where magnetic forces become so extreme that they can tear apart atoms and erase reality from thousands of miles away. Imagine, as you lie there in the soft silence of the night, that you are looking at a star that is only 20 kilometers wide, about 12 miles across. It is small enough to fit inside the boundaries of a human city like London or New York. From a distance, it looks like a tiny, brilliant diamond spinning in the dark. But this diamond is not made of carbon. It is the collapsed core of a massive star that ran out of fuel and exploded in a supernova. What remains is a neutron star, an object so dense that a single sugar cube-sized piece of its material would weigh 1 billion tons on Earth. It is as if you took the entire human race and crushed them into the size of a single penny. This is already a miracle of physics, but a magnetar is a neutron star with a twist. It has a magnetic field that is 1,000 trillion times stronger than the one we are sitting in right now on Earth. This brings us to the first major twist of the magnetar, the distant eraser. To understand the power of a magnetar, we have to compare it to things we know. The magnetic field of the Earth is what keeps your compass needle pointing north and protects us from the sun's radiation. It is gentle, it is stable. If you take a strong refrigerator magnet, it is about 100 times stronger than Earth's field. An MRI machine in a hospital is about 10,000 times stronger, but a magnetar, it is in a category of its own. Scientists have calculated that if a magnetar were to suddenly appear at the distance of the Moon, 238,000 miles away, its magnetic field would be strong enough to strip the data from every credit card and hard drive on the planet Earth in a single second. It would erase our digital civilization from across the vacuum of space without ever touching us. Think about that scale for a moment as you settle deeper into your rest. We think of magnets as things that pick up paperclips or stick to our fridge, but in the cosmic dark, a magnet can be a weapon. A magnetar's reach is so long and so powerful that it doesn't need to be near you to change your world. It is an invisible ghost, reaching out across the void with fingers of magnetic force that can rewrite the information in our machines. For astronomers, this discovery was a shock. They didn't think a star could hold that much magnetic energy without flying apart. But the magnetar proves that the universe has ways of packing power into small spaces that we are only just beginning to understand. As you drift further into relaxation, let your mind rest on the second twist, the distortion of the atom. This is where the physics of the magnetar becomes truly impossible. We are taught in school that atoms are the building blocks of everything, round, stable structures with electrons orbiting a nucleus. But near a magnetar, the rules of chemistry simply stop working. The magnetic field is so intense that it actually deforms the atoms themselves. Instead of being round spheres, the atoms in your body would be stretched into long, thin needles. Because the atoms change shape, they can no longer bond with each other. Molecules would fall apart. The very structure of your DNA, your cells, and your bones would dissolve into a cloud of atomic needles. Life as we know it is not just difficult near a magnetar, it is physically prohibited by the laws of geometry. Imagine the view from our ship, the silent needle of light, as we approach one of these monsters. We have to stay millions of miles away just to remain in one piece. From here, we can see the magnetar spinning. It rotates once every few seconds, dragging its massive magnetic field through the vacuum like a giant, invisible whisk. This movement creates a vacuum polarization. The empty space around the star becomes so charged with energy that it actually starts to act like a solid material, bending light and slowing down particles. It is a glitch in the vacuum itself. We are looking at a place where the distinction between matter and empty space begins to blur. The magnetar isn't just a star, it is a distortion in the fabric of reality. This brings us to the third twist, the most violent one in our library, the starquake. Just like the Earth has earthquakes, a magnetar has starquakes. But because the star is so dense and the magnetic field is so strong, the scale is different. The crust of a magnetar is made of a crystalline lattice of iron atoms, 10 billion times stronger than steel. But even this crust can't always handle the pressure of the magnetic field pulling on it from the inside. Every few hundred years, the magnetic field lines get twisted and tangled until they reach a breaking point. Then, the crust of the star snaps. It might only move a fraction of a millimeter, but that tiny movement releases a burst of energy that is almost incomprehensible. Before we explore the time a magnetar actually hit the Earth with its energy, I want to pause and welcome you to our community of cosmic travelers. If you find peace in these journeys through the extreme forces of nature and value this perspective on the mysteries that challenge our logic, please take a second to subscribe and like the video. It is your presence here that allows us to keep exploring the deep reaches of space together, providing you a sanctuary for rest and wonder. It is a small gesture, but it truly helps us bring the power of the stars a little closer to you. Now, let us return to the snap. On December 27, 2004, the Earth was hit by a wave of radiation that came from a magnetar called SGR 180620. This star is located 50,000 light-years away on the far side of our galaxy. Even at that incredible distance, the starquake on its surface was so powerful that the burst of gamma rays it released actually affected the Earth's atmosphere. It ionized the upper layers of our air, causing them to expand and glow. In just 1/10 of a second, this tiny star, only 12 miles wide, released more energy than our sun has produced in the last 100,000 years. If that magnetar had been within 10 light-years of us, it would have wiped out the ozone layer and ended life on our planet instantly. But from 50,000 light-years away, it was just a glitch in our sensors, a reminder that we are living in a universe of sleeping giants. Think about the silence of a magnetar between its quakes. Most of the time, it is just a cold, dark ball spinning in the void. It doesn't have the warm, friendly glow of our sun. It is a zombie star, a remnant of a life that ended in fire. But inside that silence, there is a tension that never goes away. It is a world where gravity and magnetism are in a permanent state of war. There is a strange, hypnotic peace in watching such a powerful object from the safety of our imagination. It reminds us that for all our technology and all our knowledge, we are still very small. We are like ants living on the floor of a factory full of massive, high-voltage machines. As long as the machines are quiet, we feel safe. But the magnetar is a sign that the factory is alive. Most people carry the idea that the strongest things in the universe must be the biggest. They think of black holes or giant stars. But the magnetar shows us that the universe loves to hide its greatest powers in its smallest packages. It is a masterpiece of efficiency. It is a crack in our expectation of what a star can do. Why is the magnetic field so strong? Why doesn't it decay faster? These are the questions that keep researchers up at night. We think we have a map of atomic physics, but the magnetar is a place where the map is blank. It is a laboratory of the extreme, showing us what happens when nature is pushed to its absolute limit. As you get sleepier and the silence of the room surrounds you, imagine the magnetar one more time. You see the tiny, brilliant sphere. You see the rippling distortions in the space around it, like heat waves on a summer road. You realize that you are looking at the ultimate survivor of a cosmic explosion. It is a star that has been crushed by gravity and twisted by magnetism until it became something entirely new. There is no noise here. No wind, just the rhythmic, silent pulse of a cosmic heart. You are safe here. You are just an observer watching the universe demonstrate its absolute power. Let the intensity of the magnetar make your own world feel soft and gentle. Compared to a starquake that can be felt across the galaxy, the problems of your day are like feathers drifting in the wind. But as mysterious as a city-sized magnet is, the universe has things that are just as strange, but in a completely different way. Things that aren't defined by their terrifying power, but by their incredible beauty and value. In our library of the impossible, we have found stars that didn't just die and turn into magnets, they died and turned into jewels. We have found a sun that has spent billions of years cooling down until its entire core became a single, solid diamond the size of a planet. Take a final, slow breath and let the crushing power of the magnetar fade into the background of your mind. We are leaving the magnetic storms behind. We are moving from the scale of the terrifying to the scale of the breathtaking. We are heading toward the diamond star, a mystery that isn't about the distortion of atoms or the erasing of data, but about the slow, patient crystallization of time itself. The tension is shifting from power to beauty. The scale is shifting from the violent to the serene. Let us move to the next mystery in our library of the strange. The diamond star. The journey continues. The light is changing. Let us move forward. Tonight, we drift away from the crushing power of the magnetars and the terrifying distortion of the atom. We have seen the universe at its most violent, and we have faced the giants that could erase our world with a single snap of their magnetic fingers. But as we move further into our library of the impossible, we find that the cosmic dark has another side. It is not all fire and destruction. Sometimes, the universe takes the remains of a violent death and turns them into something of quiet, breathtaking beauty. Today we explore a discovery that sounds more like a fairy tale than a scientific fact. We are heading toward a star that has spent billions of years cooling down until its entire heart turned into a solid jewel. We are heading toward BPM 37093, the star that became a diamond the size of a planet. Imagine, as you lie there in the soft, dark silence of your room, that you are looking at a star 50 light-years away in the constellation of Centaurus. From Earth, it is invisible to the naked eye, a tiny point of light lost among the giants. But in our journey tonight, we are going to look past the surface. We are going to look into the very core of this dead sun. For all of human history, we have valued diamonds as the ultimate symbol of rarity and strength. We dig deep into the earth to find tiny stones that can fit in the palm of our hand. We call them precious because they are hard to find and take millions of years to form under the weight of our planet. But the universe operates on a different scale of value. In the cosmic dark, there is a stone so large that it makes every jewel on Earth look like a speck of dust. This brings us to the first major twist of our story, the scale of the jewel. To understand what astronomers found in 2004, we have to look at the numbers. BPM 37093 is a white dwarf, the cooling ember of a star that was once very much like our own sun. When it died, it collapsed into an object about 4,000 kilometers wide, roughly the size of the moon. But because it is so dense, its gravity is intense. Deep inside, the carbon that was left over from its nuclear fire was squeezed with such incredible force that it began to crystallize. Scientists have calculated the weight of this cosmic jewel. It is 10 billion trillion carats. That is a 1 followed by 34 zeros. If you were to take every diamond ever mined in human history and put them together, they wouldn't even equal a single atom of this star's heart. It is a scale of wealth and beauty that breaks every human standard of what precious means. Think about that number as you settle deeper into your rest. 10 billion trillion carats. It is a number so large it stops being math and starts being poetry. We think we understand rarity, but the diamond star reminds us that we are just children playing with pebbles on the shore of a vast, sparkling ocean. For astronomers, this wasn't just a fun discovery. It was a confirmation of a theory they had held for decades. They knew that as white dwarfs get older and colder, the carbon inside them must eventually turn into a crystal lattice. But they had never seen it happen until they looked at BPM 37093. It is a glitch in our expectation of death. We expect things to rot or disappear when they die, but the universe shows us that sometimes death is just the beginning of a long, slow crystallization into perfection. As you drift further into relaxation, let your mind rest on the second twist, the heartbeat of the crystal. You might wonder, if this diamond is buried deep inside a star 50 light years away, how do we even know it's there? We can't land on it. We can't cut a piece out of it. The answer is one of the most beautiful techniques in all of astronomy, asteroseismology. Scientists discovered that BPM 37093 isn't just sitting there, it is ringing. Just like a bell rings when you strike it, the star vibrates. These vibrations are caused by waves of energy moving through its interior. By watching the way the star's light pulses and fades, astronomers can listen to its heartbeat. In 1995, they realized the star's ring was different. It didn't sound like a gas or a liquid. It sounded like a solid. It was the sound of waves bouncing off a massive, rigid crystal. By measuring these pulses, they were able to map the interior of the star and prove that over 90% of its mass had already turned into solid diamond. It is a giant, ringing bell made of jewel, floating in the infinite dark. Imagine the sound of that heartbeat, a low, rhythmic thrum that has been steady for billions of years. There is a strange, hypnotic peace in knowing that out there, in the silence of space, a planet-sized diamond is singing its own story of transformation. Before we explore the connection between this star and our own future, I want to pause and welcome you to our community of travelers. If you find peace in these journeys through the quiet wonders of the cosmos and value this perspective on the beauty hidden in the dark, please take a moment to subscribe and like the video. It is your curiosity that allows us to keep exploring these distant jewels and sharing these long-form meditative journeys with the world. It is a small gesture, but it helps us keep the fire of discovery burning. Now, let us return to the light of the crystal. This brings us to the third twist, the one that makes this mystery personal, the fate of our sun. When astronomers discovered the diamond star, they realized they weren't just looking at a distant curiosity. They were looking at a mirror of our own future. In about 5 to 7 billion years, our sun will run out of fuel. It will swell into a red giant, as we have discussed before, and then it will shed its outer layers and shrink into a white dwarf. For billions of years after that, our sun will sit in the dark, slowly getting colder and colder. And eventually, the same laws of physics that built BPM 37093 will take hold of our star. The carbon at the heart of our sun will begin to settle and lock together. Imagine the solar system 10 billion years from now. The Earth may be gone, or it may be a frozen, airless rock. But in the center, where our warm, yellow sun once shone, there will be a cold, dark, solid diamond. Our sun is destined to become a jewel. Every atom of the star that gave us life, every spark of energy that powered our civilizations, will eventually be preserved in a crystalline structure that will last forever. It is the ultimate time capsule. The universe doesn't just erase our history, it crystallizes it. There is a deep, soul-stirring comfort in this realization. We are not just drifting toward a cold end, we are drifting toward a permanent, beautiful state of rest. Our origin and our end are both written in the light of the stars. Think about the patience of this process. BPM 37093 didn't become a diamond overnight. It took billions of years of slow, unceasing cooling. Today we explore the idea of cosmic patience. We spend our lives rushing, trying to achieve things in days or weeks. But the universe teaches us that the most beautiful things require time on a scale we can barely imagine. To turn a raging sun into a perfect crystal requires a level of patience that defies human understanding. In the silence of the void, time isn't an enemy, it is a builder. It is the tool the universe uses to turn chaos into order. When you view your life against the timeline of a diamond star, the stresses and the deadlines of your day seem to dissolve. You realize that you, too, are part of a long, slow process of becoming. Most people carry the idea that diamonds are forever because that's what we are told in advertisements. But on Earth, diamonds eventually return to the crust or burn into carbon dioxide. Only in the cosmic dark is the phrase truly true. A diamond star like BPM 37093 will stay in its crystalline state for trillions of years. It will outlive every bright star you see in the sky tonight. It will be there when the galaxies merge, and it will still be there when the universe itself grows old and thin. It is one of the most permanent things that nature can create. It is a glitch in the temporary nature of life. It is a sign that the universe values things that last. As you get sleepier and the silence of the room surrounds you, imagine the view from a ship drifting near the diamond star. There is no blinding glare to hide its beauty. You can see the facets of the crystal glowing faintly with the heat of 1 billion years ago. You see the light of the distant Milky Way reflecting off its surface, creating a dance of rainbows in the vacuum. It is the most quiet and most serene place in our library of the impossible. There is no noise here, no gravity that wants to tear you apart, just the absolute peace of a jewel that has found its final form. You are safe here. You are just an observer watching the universe preserve its own memory in stone. But as mysterious as a planet-sized jewel is, the universe has things that are just as strange but in a much darker way. Things that aren't defined by their beauty or their value, but by their ability to swallow both. In our library of the impossible, we have found places where the very floor of reality falls away. We have found black holes that aren't just black, but are doing things that challenge every equation we have ever written about space and time. We have found the kings of nothing, objects so strange they make a diamond star look like a simple toy. Take a final, slow breath and let the soft, rainbow light of the diamond star fade into the background of your mind. We are leaving the era of beauty and entering the era of the abyss. We are moving from the scale of the precious to the scale of the bottomless. We are heading toward the black hole anomalies, a mystery that isn't about the slow cooling of suns, but about the total collapse of everything we think we know. The tension is shifting from the crystal to the void. The scale is shifting from the solid to the infinite. Let us move to the next mystery in our library of the strange. The black hole anomalies. The journey continues. The darkness is calling. Let us move forward. Tonight we drift away from the rainbows and the crystal light of the diamond star. We have seen how the universe can take the end of a life and turn it into a permanent jewel. But as we move deeper into our library of the impossible, we arrive at the most feared and misunderstood places in the cosmic dark. We are heading toward the black holes, but not the ones you've read about in your textbooks. Today we explore the anomalies, the kings of nothing, that are doing things science says should be impossible. We are entering a realm where the floor of reality doesn't just bend, it completely falls away. These are the places where time stops, where gravity becomes infinite, and where the universe seems to be trying to delete information from existence. Imagine as you lie there in the soft, deep silence of your room that you are looking at a hole in the sky. It is not a hole in the sense of an empty space, but a hole in the sense of a missing part of the universe. For all of human history, we have understood the world through cause and effect. We believe that if you push something, it moves. If you shine a light, it travels. But a black hole is a glitch in this instruction manual. It is an object so massive and so dense that it has punctured the fabric of space-time itself. It is the ultimate no to the laws of physics. But among the billions of black holes in the dark, there are few that are so strange they make even the most brilliant astronomers question if we truly understand anything at all. This brings us to the first major twist of the abyss, the messy eaters. Most people carry the idea that a black hole is like a cosmic vacuum cleaner, sucking everything in with perfect efficiency. We imagine things disappearing into the dark without a sound. We were wrong. In 2014, astronomers watched a black hole called ASASSN 14 destroy a star, and what they saw was a glitch in our expectation of silence. Instead of just swallowing the star, the black hole began to choke. As the star was ripped apart by tidal forces, the black hole couldn't consume the material fast enough. It began to spray the star's remains across the galaxy in massive, glowing jets of X-ray light. It was a violent, chaotic mess that lasted for years. This discovery showed us that black holes aren't just passive pits, They are active, temperamental engines that can scream with light even as they live in total darkness. Think about that imagery as you settle deeper into your rest. A star being shredded like silk, its glowing remains swirling into a bottomless drain. We think of gravity as a gentle pull that keeps our feet on the ground, but in the heart of a black hole anomaly, gravity becomes a weapon of total destruction. For researchers, these tidal disruption events are a way to see the unseeable. We can't see the black hole itself, but we can see the ghost of the star it is destroying. It is a reminder that the universe has a violent side that it usually hides in the shadows. There is a strange, hypnotic peace in watching this destruction from a distance, a realization that the same forces that hold the galaxies together are also capable of tearing them apart atom by atom. As you drift further into relaxation, let your mind rest on the second twist, the monster that shouldn't be. In 2018, astronomers found a black hole called J2157. It is a supermassive black hole, but even that word feels too small. J2157 has the mass of 34 billion suns. To help your mind hold that scale, imagine our entire solar system, the sun, the earth, the gas giants, and everything out to the Kuiper belt. You could fit that entire system inside the shadow of this black hole many times over. But the mystery isn't just its size, it's its age. J2157 existed when the universe was less than 1 billion years old. According to our models of how black holes grow, there simply wasn't enough time for something to get that big so quickly. It's like finding a fully grown oak tree in a garden that was only planted yesterday. It is a glitch in the timeline of the universe. To grow this large, this monster would have to be eating the equivalent of one entire sun every single day. Every 24 hours, a star like ours would have to vanish into its maw just to keep it growing. This discovery keeps researchers up at night because it suggests that either our math for how black holes grow is wrong, or the early universe had a way of building monsters that we haven't even dreamed of yet. We are looking at a king that claimed its throne before the kingdom was even finished being built. This brings us to the third twist, the most beautiful one in our library, the hum of the dark. We are taught that space is a vacuum, and therefore it is silent. We think that no sound can travel through the void. But in 2003, astronomers pointed their X-ray telescopes at the Perseus galaxy cluster and found that the massive black hole at its center was singing. As the black hole feeds, it sends out ripples of energy into the surrounding gas clouds. These ripples are sound waves, deep, low-frequency vibrations that have been traveling through the cluster for over 2 billion years. Scientists were able to translate these ripples into a musical note. It is a B-flat, but it is 57 octaves below middle C. It is a sound so deep that the human ear could never hear it, but the universe can feel it. Imagine the silence of the cosmic dark being broken by a single, steady, and eternal note. It is the longest-running concert in history. There is a profound, meditative sukoon, peace in this idea. The kings of nothing aren't just swallowing matter, they are vibrating the very fabric of space. They are the instruments that the universe uses to maintain its rhythm. When you view your worries against the 2 billion-year song of a black hole, the noise of your life begins to fade into a gentle hum. Before we explore the time we actually saw the unseeable, I want to pause and welcome you to our community of explorers. If you find peace in these journeys through the deepest mysteries of physics and value this perspective on the forces that defy our logic, please take a moment to subscribe and like the video. It is your curiosity that allows us to keep exploring these dark horizons and sharing these long-form meditative journeys with the world. It is a small gesture, but it helps us keep the light of discovery burning in the face of the void. Now, let us return to the shadow. On April 10, 2019, the world changed. For the first time in human history, we stopped imagining what a black hole looked like and actually saw one. Using the Event Horizon Telescope, a network of telescopes across the entire planet, we captured an image of the black hole at the center of the M87 galaxy. What we saw was a glowing ring of fire surrounding a perfect circular shadow. This brings us to the fourth twist, the edge of truth. That shadow isn't a solid object. It is the event horizon, the the point of no return. Once anything crosses that line, even light itself is not fast enough to escape. But here is where the anomaly gets truly strange. Some physicists believe that the event horizon isn't just a boundary, it might be a firewall. They suggest that if you were to fall into a black hole, you wouldn't just disappear into the dark. You would be incinerated by a wall of high-energy particles the moment you touch the edge. This creates a binary choice in the laws of reality. Either Einstein was right and you could fall through the horizon peacefully, or quantum mechanics is right and the universe has a built-in security system to prevent you from ever entering the dark. We are looking at a place where the two greatest theories in science are in a state of total war. The black hole is the battlefield where reality itself is trying to decide which rules to follow. Think about the silence of that edge. It is a place where time as we know it simply stops. If you were to watch someone fall toward the event horizon from a distance, you would never actually see them cross it. Because of the way gravity warps time, they would appear to slow down more and more until they seem to freeze at the edge, turning redder and fainter until they vanished into the infrared. To them, the journey is over. To you, they stay there forever, a permanent ghost on the wall of the universe. There is a strange, hypnotic peace in this distortion. It reminds us that our sense of now and then is just a local perspective. In the presence of a king of nothing, time is just a flexible ribbon that can be stretched until it snaps. Most people carry the idea that black holes are the end of everything, but in our library of the impossible, we have found that they might actually be the beginning. Some theories suggest that every black hole contains a new universe inside it, that when matter collapses into a singularity, it big bangs out into a new dimension. If this is true, then our own universe might be sitting inside a black hole in a much larger cosmos. We are not just living with anomalies, we might be living inside one. This realization turns the terrifying into the breathtaking. It suggests that the nothing we fear is actually a gateway to everything we don't yet know. It is a crack in the floor that leads to a much larger house. As you get sleepier and the silence of the room surrounds you, imagine the view from a ship drifting near the shadow of M87. You see the glowing orange accretion disk swirling at millions of miles per hour. You see the perfect, silent darkness in the center. You realize that you are looking at the edge of existence. There is no noise here, no wind, just the absolute weight of a power that can stop light. You are safe here. You are just an observer watching the universe protect its deepest secrets. Let the gravity of this mystery make your own world feel light and free. Compared to a hole in spacetime that can swallow 30 billion suns, the problems of your day are like dust motes dancing in a sunbeam. But as mysterious as the kings of nothing are, the universe has things that are just as strange but on a microscopic scale. Things that aren't defined by their massive size or their ability to swallow galaxies, but by their incredible energy in a space so tiny it shouldn't exist. In our library of the impossible, we have found a single tiny particle that traveled across the void with the power of a physical object. A particle so fast and so energetic that scientists could only give it one name. Take a final, slow breath and let the darkness of the black hole fade into the background of your mind. We are leaving the abyss behind. We are moving from the scale of the massive to the scale of the microscopic. We are heading toward the oh my god particle, a mystery that isn't about the collapse of stars or the hum of clusters, but about the terrifying energy of a single, invisible atom. The tension is shifting from the void to the impact. The scale is shifting from the infinite to the infinitesimal. Let us move to the next mystery in our library of the strange. The oh my god particle. The journey continues. The impact is coming. Let us move forward. Tonight, we drift away from the massive, bottomless shadows of black holes and move toward a mystery that is so small, it is completely invisible to the human eye. We have seen how the universe builds monsters out of stars and galaxies, but now we are going to look at the power hidden in a single, microscopic atom. Today we explore a glitch in the laws of speed and energy. We are heading toward the oh my god particle, a discovery that happened on a cold night in 1991, and left the scientific world in a state of total disbelief. It is a story about a traveler that crossed the universe at a speed so close to the limit of reality that it shouldn't have been able to exist. In our library of the impossible, this particle is the ultimate cosmic bullet. Imagine, as you lie there in the soft, dark silence of your room, that you are standing in the middle of a desert in Utah. It is a quiet night and the air is still. All around you there are sensors pointed at the sky, waiting for a signal from the deep dark. Suddenly, one of these sensors detects a flash. It isn't a flash of light that you could see with your eyes, it is a flash of energy. A single proton, the tiny heart of a hydrogen atom, has slammed into the Earth's atmosphere. Usually, cosmic rays hit us all the time and they are harmless, but this one was different. When the scientists looked at the data the next morning, they didn't just see a number, they saw a miracle. They saw a particle carrying so much energy that they could only give it one name, the "Oh my God" particle. This brings us to the first major twist of the microscopic, the baseball paradox. To understand why this particle is mysterious, we have to compare it to the world we know. A single proton is so small that you could fit millions of them on the head of a pin. Normally, a subatomic particle has almost no weight and very little energy, but the "Oh my God" particle was different. Scientists calculated that this single, invisible speck was carrying as much kinetic energy as a professional baseball thrown at 60 miles per hour. Think about that as you settle deeper into your rest. Imagine a baseball hitting a catcher's glove. You can feel the impact. You can hear the sound. Now imagine all of that physical power, the weight and the speed of that ball packed into a single, invisible atom. It is an energy density that defies logic. If you were to scale that particle up to the size of a real baseball, it would have enough energy to destroy an entire galaxy. It was traveling at 99.99999999999% the speed of light. It was so fast that if it had raced a beam of light across the entire universe, the light would only have won by a few centimeters. For astronomers, this discovery was a glitch in the speed limit of the cosmos. As you drift further into relaxation, let your mind rest on the second twist, the forbidden journey. There is a rule in physics called the GZK limit. It says that no particle can travel through deep space with that much energy for very long. Why? Because space isn't actually empty. It is filled with the afterglow of the Big Bang, the cosmic microwave background. When a particle moves that fast, it eventually crashes into these invisible waves of radiation, losing energy like a car hitting a wall of water. According to our math, a particle like the "Oh my God" traveler should have burned out after only a few million light years. But here is the mystery. To have that much energy when it hit Utah, it must have come from somewhere close to us. But when we look in the direction that it came from, we see nothing. There are no massive black holes, no exploding stars, and no violent galaxies in that part of the sky. The particle appeared to come from a complete void. This means either our understanding of the GZK limit is wrong, or the universe has a way of accelerating matter in empty space that we haven't discovered yet. It is a crack in our instruction manual for physics. We found a bullet, but we can't find the gun. Before we explore the even stranger particle that was found just a few years ago, I want to pause and welcome you to our community of explorers. If you find peace in these journeys through the tiny and the massive and value this perspective on the mysteries that challenge our logic, please take a second to subscribe and like the video. It is your presence here that allows us to keep exploring the deep reaches of space together, providing you a sanctuary for rest and wonder. It is a small gesture, but it truly helps us bring the power of the stars a little closer to you. Now, let us return to the void. In 2021, it happened again. Another sensor, this time in Japan, detected a particle with nearly the same energy as the original. They named it the Amaterasu particle, after the Japanese goddess of the sun. Just like before, this traveler came from a region of space that is almost entirely empty. It came from the local void, a place where there are no galaxies to act as a source. This second discovery proved that the "Oh my God" particle wasn't a glitch or a measurement error. It is a real phenomenon. There are invisible cosmic cannons out there in the dark, firing atoms across the universe at speeds that should be physically impossible. Think about the silence of that journey. This tiny atom traveled for millions, perhaps billions of years through the absolute zero of the void. It passed through galaxies and nebulae, never hitting anything, never slowing down, carrying the power of a physical object in a space smaller than a thought. It is the ultimate ghost of our library. It reminds us that even in the smallest parts of the universe, there is a scale of power that can overwhelm our machines and our minds. There is a strange, hypnotic peace in imagining this tiny, brilliant traveler screaming through the dark at the very limit of what is allowed. Most people carry the idea that the big mysteries are only found in big things, like the Great Attractor or the Boötes Void. But the Oh My God particle shows us that the universe is just as strange on the inside as it is on the outside. It is a masterpiece of energy. It is a sign that we don't yet understand how the universe moves its smallest pieces. Why was it so fast? How did it survive the journey? These are the questions that keep researchers up at night. We think we have a map of how energy works, but this particle is a glitch that says the map is still being written. As you get sleepier and the silence of the room surrounds you, imagine the Oh My God particle one more time. You see a tiny, invisible point of light. You see it slicing through the fabric of space-time like a needle through silk. You realize that you are looking at a survivor of a cosmic event so powerful we can't even imagine it. There is no noise here, no wind, just the absolute silent speed of a traveler that refused to follow the rules. You are safe here. You are just an observer watching the universe demonstrate its absolute precision. Let the speed of this particle make your own world feel slow and peaceful. Compared to a traveler that can cross the universe in a heartbeat, the stresses of your day are standing still. But as mysterious as an impossible particle is, the universe has things that are just as strange but on a much larger scale. Things that don't just defy the rules of energy, but the rules of light. In our library of the impossible, we have found a star that doesn't just shine, it flickers in a way that suggests something massive and unnatural is blocking its glow. A star so strange that for a moment, the world thought we had finally found someone else in the dark. Take a final, slow breath and let the silent speed of the Oh My God particle fade into the background of your mind. We are leaving the world of atoms behind. We are zooming back out from the scale of the microscopic to the scale of the mysterious star. We are heading toward Tabby's star, a mystery that isn't about the power of a single atom, but about the strange, irregular shadow of something we can't explain. The tension is shifting from speed to shadow. The scale is shifting from the tiny to the vast. Let us move to the next mystery in our library of the strange. Tabby's star. The journey continues. The light is dimming. Let us move forward. Tonight we drift toward a mystery that is hiding in plain sight. We have seen the microscopic power of the Oh My God particle, but now we are zooming back out to scale that we can almost touch. We are heading toward a star that has been driving the brightest minds in astronomy crazy for more than a decade. Today we explore a discovery that, for a brief moment, made the world believe we were no longer alone in the dark. We are heading toward KIC 8,462,852, a star that most people know simply as Tabby's star. In our library of the impossible, this is the star that stuttered. It is a sun that doesn't just shine. It flickers and dims in ways that challenge our understanding of what a natural object is capable of doing. Imagine, as you lie there in the soft, dark silence of your room, that you are looking at the constellation of Cygnus, the swan. It is a beautiful part of the sky, located about 1,400 light-years away. Among the thousands of stars in that region, Tabby's star looks completely ordinary. It is slightly larger and a bit hotter than our own sun. If you were to see it through a standard telescope, you would probably ignore it. But in 2011, the Kepler Space Telescope, a machine designed to find new worlds, noticed something glitched about this star's light. This brings us to the first major twist of the flickering sun, the impossible shadow. To understand why Tabby's star is mysterious, we have to look at how we find planets. Normally, when a planet passes in front of a star, it blocks a tiny bit of light. If Earth passes in front of our sun, the light drops by only 0.01%. Even a giant planet like Jupiter only blocks about 1% of a star's light. These dips are regular, predictable, and small. But when astronomers looked at the data for Tabby's star, they saw something that broke the rules. The light didn't just dip by 1%, it dropped by 15%. And then, a few years later, it plummeted by 22%. Think about that scale as you settle deeper into your rest. 22%. To block that much light from a sun, you would need something massive. You would need something as large as the star itself. But a planet can't be that big. If it were, it would have enough mass to ignite and become a star itself. Whatever was blocking the light wasn't a planet. It was something else, something irregular, something enormous, and something that didn't follow any known orbit. For the first time in history, scientists had to consider a possibility that sounds like it was taken straight from the pages of a science fiction novel. This brings us to the second twist, the one that set the world on fire, the alien megastructure. In 1960, a physicist named Freeman Dyson proposed a radical idea. He suggested that as a civilization becomes more advanced, it will eventually need more energy than a single planet can provide. To solve this, they might build a Dyson sphere, a massive swarm of energy-collecting satellites that surround their entire star, capturing every spark of its power. If you were looking at a Dyson sphere from a distance, you wouldn't see a steady glow. You would see irregular, massive dips in light as the giant structures passed in front of the sun. When the data from Tabby's star was released, it looked exactly like what Dyson had predicted. It was irregular, it was massive, it was impossible by natural standards. For a few months, the scientific community sat in a state of quiet shock. Could this be it? Could we be looking at the first physical evidence of a Type 2 civilization, a species that had literally outgrown its own world and was now building cities around its sun? It was a glitch in our loneliness. It was a sign that the great silence of the universe might finally be over. Before we look at the natural explanation that eventually emerged, I want to pause and welcome you to our community of watchers. If you find peace in these journeys through the puzzles of the cosmos and value this perspective on the mysteries that bridge the gap between science and imagination, please take a second to subscribe and like the video. It is your presence here that allows us to keep exploring these distant suns and sharing these long-form meditative journeys with the world. It is a small gesture, but it helps us keep the light of discovery burning, even when the stars themselves start to dim. Now, let us return to the shadow. As you drift further into relaxation, let your mind rest on the third twist, the dust trap. As much as we wanted it to be an alien megastructure, science requires proof. In 2017, astronomers managed to catch the star dimming again and did something very clever. They looked at the light in different colors. They realized that if the object blocking the light was solid, like a ship or a satellite, it would block all colors of light equally. But that's not what happened. The star's blue light was blocked much more than its red light. This was the smoking gun. In the language of physics, this means the object is translucent. It is made of tiny particles. It is made of dust. The current leading theory is that Tabby's star is surrounded by a massive, chaotic debris field, perhaps the remnants of a planet that was torn apart by the star's gravity, or a family of giant comets that are being ground into dust as they orbit. But even this natural explanation has its own glitch. To block 22% of a star's light, you would need an almost impossible amount of dust. You would need enough dust to fill our entire solar system many times over. We have looked at millions of other stars, and we have never seen anything like this. Tabby's star is still the only one. It is a unique anomaly in a galaxy of 400 billion suns. Think about the silence of that debris field. Imagine trillions of tons of cold gray dust drifting in the dark, orbiting a star that is trying to blow it away with its radiation. It is a world of permanent shadows and cosmic clutter. Today we explore the idea that the universe is a messy workshop. We want it to be clean and organized, but Tabby's star shows us that it is full of wreckage and broken pieces. There is a strange, hypnotic peace in imagining this star, struggling to shine through the clouds of its own past. It reminds us that even the most brilliant lights in the universe have to deal with the shadows. Most people carry the idea that once a mystery is explained, it is no longer mysterious, but Tabby's star teaches us the opposite. Even if it is just dust, the question remains, why is it there? Why is this star the only one in the entire sky that looks like this? Is it a rare moment of planetary death that only happens once every billion years? Or are we missing something even deeper about how stars and planets interact? The more we know, the more we realize how little we truly understand about the life cycle of a sun. We think we have a map of the stars, but Tabby's star is a glitch that says the map is still full of blank spaces. As you get sleepier and the silence of the room surrounds you, imagine the view from a ship safe in orbit around Tabby's star. You see the massive, brilliant disk of the sun, but you also see the clouds. They aren't clouds of air, they are mountains of dust stretching for millions of miles. You see the star's light being caught and scattered, creating long, ghostly rays that pierce the darkness. You realize that you are looking at a masterpiece of celestial chaos. There is no noise here, no wind, just the absolute silent drama of a star and its shadow. You are safe here. You are just an observer watching the universe work through its own complications. Let the flickering of this distant sun make your own life feel steady and reliable. Compared to a star that can lose a quarter of its light in a day, the changes in your own world are slow and gentle. But as mysterious as a flickering star is, the universe has things that are just as strange but on a much larger scale. Things that aren't defined by the shadow of a single sun, but by the skeleton of the entire cosmos. In our library of the impossible, we have found that the galaxies themselves aren't just floating aimlessly. They are hanging on a giant, invisible web that stretches across billions of light years. A web that connects everything in a pattern we are only just beginning to see. Take a final, slow breath and let the flickering light of Tabby's star fade into the background of your mind. We are leaving the individual suns behind. We are zooming back out, from the scale of the star to the scale of the infinite. We are heading toward the cosmic web, a mystery that isn't about the dips in light or the dust of planets, but about the massive, invisible threads that hold the entire universe together. The tension is shifting from the shadow to the structure. The scale is shifting from the intimate to the ultimate. Let us move to the next mystery in our library of the strange. The cosmic web. The journey continues. The connections are forming. Let us move forward. Tonight we take the ultimate step in our journey. We have looked at individual stars, we have faced the bottomless hunger of black holes, and we have analyzed the tiny invisible particles that scream through the dark. But now we are zooming out to a scale where individual galaxies disappear. We are zooming out so far that the Milky Way, our entire home, becomes nothing more than a single tiny droplet of light on a vast, endless ocean. Today we explore the largest structure in existence. We are heading toward the cosmic web, the invisible skeleton that holds the entire universe together. In our library of the impossible, this is the master blueprint. It is a pattern that connects every star, every planet, and every person to the very edge of the observable cosmos. Imagine, as you lie there in the deep stillness, that the universe is not just a random collection of objects floating in a void. Imagine that it is a living, breathing network. For a long time, we thought that space was just an empty room where galaxies were scattered like dust. We thought there was no order to the chaos. We were wrong. In the last few decades, astronomers have discovered that the universe has a specific, complex architecture. If you could step outside of our universe and look back, you wouldn't see a mess of stars. You would see a giant, glowing spider web. You would see long, fragile threads of light stretching across billions of light years, connecting massive clusters of galaxies to each other in a beautiful, geometric pattern. This brings us to the first major twist of the ultimate scale, the invisible scaffold. To understand the cosmic web, we have to look at what we can't see. Most people think that the web is made of galaxies, but here is the glitch in our perception. The galaxies are just the decoration. The real structure of the web is made of dark matter. Dark matter makes up 85% of all the matter in the universe, yet it emits no light, no heat, and no radiation. It is completely invisible, but it has gravity. In the first few minutes after the Big Bang, dark matter began to clump together, forming long, invisible filaments in the dark. These filaments acted like cosmic highways. The normal matter, the gas and the dust, was pulled into these highways by gravity, where it eventually condensed to form the stars and galaxies we see tonight. Think about that scale as you settle deeper into your rest. The galaxies are like the glowing lights on a Christmas tree, but the dark matter is the tree itself. We have spent all of human history looking at the lights, never realizing that they were hanging on a massive, invisible skeleton. For astronomers, this realization was a shock. It meant that the empty space between the galaxies isn't actually empty. It is filled with a ghostly scaffolding that dictates where every star is born and where every galaxy moves. It is a glitch in the idea of independent movement. Nothing in the universe is truly free. Everything is tethered to the web, following the invisible lines of dark matter like a train following its tracks. As you drift further into relaxation, let your mind rest on the second twist, the galactic rivers. We are taught that galaxies just sit in space, but the cosmic web shows us that they are in a constant state of motion. Today we explore the flow of the infinite. Scientists have found that gas and matter are constantly flowing along these filaments, moving from the empty voids toward the dense clusters. Imagine the filaments of the cosmic web as massive, cosmic rivers. These rivers are hundreds of millions of light years long. They carry the raw material of the universe, hydrogen and helium, into the galactic hubs where new stars are ignited. Every galaxy, including our own Milky Way, is like a small town built on the banks of one of these rivers. We are receiving a constant supply of cosmic fuel from the web. This is how the universe stays alive. If the web were to break, the supply of gas would stop, star formation would end, and the galaxies would eventually go dark. But the web is strong. It is the most stable structure in existence. There is a profound meditative sukoon, peace in this idea. You aren't just drifting aimlessly on a rock in space. You are part of a grand, flowing system. You are connected to the farthest galaxies by a network that was laid down 13 billion years ago. You are a small cell in a body that is as large as reality itself. Before we explore how this web matches the patterns of our own brains, I want to pause and welcome you to our community of watchers. If you find peace in these journeys through the grand architecture of the cosmos and value this perspective on the invisible threads that bind us all, please take a moment to subscribe and like the video. It is your curiosity that allows us to keep looking into the deep dark and sharing these long-form meditative journeys with the world. It is a small gesture, but it helps us keep the fire of discovery burning in the face of the infinite. Now, let us return to the pattern. This brings us to the third twist, the one that makes scientists truly scratch their heads, the biological mirror. In 2020, a team of researchers compared the structure of the cosmic web to the structure of the human brain. What they found was a glitch in our expectation of coincidence. On a microscopic scale, the way neurons connect in your brain looks almost exactly like the way galaxies connect in the cosmic web. The density, the length of the filaments, and even the ratio of matter to void are nearly identical. Scientists have started to ask a question that sounds like a dream. Is the universe a giant dimog, brain? While most astronomers believe this is just a coincidence of physics, that nature simply likes to build things in the most efficient way possible, the visual similarity is undeniable. It suggests that the rules of complexity are the same, whether you're looking at a thought inside a human head or a supercluster of galaxies a billion light years away. We are looking at a universal code for connection. There is a strange, hypnotic beauty in this idea. It reminds us that as above, so below is not just a saying, it is a mathematical reality. You carry a map of the entire universe inside your own mind. Think about the voids between the threads of the web one more time. Talked about the Boötes void earlier, but now we understand it in context. The voids are the muscle between the bones of the web. As the web grows and the filaments get tighter, the voids get larger and emptier. It is a slow, multi-billion-year process of separation. The universe is becoming more organized and more hollow at the same time. Today we explore the idea that the nothing is just as important as the something. Without the empty voids to push against the threads, the web would have no shape. The darkness defines the light. Most people carry the idea that the final discovery of science will be a single particle or a single equation. But the cosmic web shows us that the final discovery is the relationship. The universe is not a collection of things, it is a collection of connections. It is a masterpiece of harmony. It is a glitch in the idea of isolation. No matter how lonely a rogue planet might feel, or how empty a void might seem, they are all part of the same unbreakable web. Everything is talking to everything else through the language of gravity. As you get sleepier and the silence of the room surrounds you, imagine the view from a ship drifting outside the cosmic web. You see the trillions of galaxies, glowing like tiny diamonds on a silver net. You see the long, beautiful filaments of dark matter, shimmering with the energy of a billion suns. You realize that you are looking at the skeleton of reality. There is no noise here, no wind, just the absolute silent perfection of a structure that has no end. You are safe here. You are just an observer watching the universe demonstrate its ultimate unity. Let the scale of this web make your own life feel connected and meaningful. Compared to an architecture that spans 90 billion light years, your own place in the story is exactly where it needs to be. You are a thread in the grand design. But as mysterious as the skeleton of the universe is, there are things hiding inside the web that are far more dangerous than the filaments themselves. Things that don't follow the rivers of gas. Things that drift through the dark like silent assassins, invisible even to the web's gravity until it is too late. In our library of the impossible, we have found black holes that aren't sitting at the center of galaxies. They are rogue. They are wandering the void, and they are heading toward our own neighborhood. Take a final, slow breath and let the glowing threads of the cosmic web fade into the background of your mind. We are leaving the grand architecture behind. We are zooming back in, from the scale of the infinite to the scale of the terrifying. We are heading toward the rogue black holes, a mystery that isn't about the beauty of connection, but about the danger of the unseen. The tension is shifting from the structure to the hunter. The scale is shifting from the ultimate to the immediate. Let us move to the next mystery in our library of the strange. Rogue black holes. The journey continues. The hunters are moving. Let us move forward. Tonight we drift away from the grand, glowing threads of the cosmic web and into a much colder, much more dangerous kind of silence. We have looked at the skeleton of the universe, the invisible scaffold that holds everything in place. But as we move further into our library of the impossible, we find that not everything follows the rules of the web. We find that the universe has produced a class of objects that are the ultimate glitches in our sense of safety. Today we explore the most terrifying wanderers in existence. We are heading toward the rogue black holes, the silent assassins of the deep dark. These are bottomless pits of gravity that aren't sitting safely at the centers of galaxies. They have been kicked out of their homes. They are drifting through the void at millions of miles per hour, and they are completely, terrifyingly invisible. Imagine as you lie there in the soft, dark stillness of your room that you are looking at a clear patch of sky. To your eyes, it looks empty. There is nothing there but a few distant, twinkling stars. But in our journey tonight, we look deeper. We look for the thing that doesn't want to be seen. For all of human history, we have understood black holes as the anchors. We thought they stayed in one place, acting like the hearts of galaxies, keeping billions of stars in orbit. We were wrong. In the last few years, astronomers have discovered that the universe is a much more violent and unpredictable place. They have found that black holes can be rogue. They can be wanderers, moving through the space between the stars like invisible ghosts, with no sun and no galaxy to call their own. This brings us to the first major twist of the unseen, the cosmic kick. You might wonder, how does a black hole, something that weighs millions of suns, simply leave its home? The answer is a glitch in the collision of giants. When two galaxies slam into each other, their central black holes eventually meet. They begin a slow, spiraling dance that lasts for millions of years. But as they merge, they release ripples in spacetime, gravitational waves. If the merger is slightly uneven, the energy released can act like a rocket engine. It can kick the newly formed black hole out of the center of the galaxy with so much force that it escapes the gravitational pull of billions of stars. It is flung into the intergalactic void, moving at thousands of kilometers per second. It becomes an exile, a king without a kingdom, drifting through the dark forever. Think about that scale of isolation as you settle deeper into your rest. A black hole, 5 times more massive than our sun, moving through the Milky Way at a speed that could cross the entire Earth in less than a minute. We call them silent assassins because they give no warning. They don't emit light. They don't have glowing gas clouds around them. They are pure, unfiltered gravity moving through the darkness. For astronomers, this discovery was a shock. They realized that our own galaxy could be filled with hundreds of millions of these rogue monsters. They are like sharks in the deep ocean, moving through the water without making a ripple until they are right in front of you. As you drift further into relaxation, let your mind rest on the second twist, the first detection. For decades, rogue black holes were just a mathematical theory. We knew they could exist, but we didn't think we could ever find them. How do you see something that is black and sitting against a black background? But in 2022, the Hubble Space Telescope achieved the impossible. It detected a rogue black hole 5,000 light-years away, drifting through the Carina Sagittarius spiral arm of our galaxy. This discovery was a glitch in our inability to see. Astronomers found it using a technique called gravitational microlensing. They watched a distant star for years, waiting for the moment its light would suddenly get brighter and then fade. This happened because the rogue black hole, an invisible lens, passed directly in front of the star. Its gravity bent the starlight, magnifying it for a few weeks before the monster moved on. It was a ghost passing in front of a candle. This first confirmed detection proved that the silent assassins are real. They are out there, right now, carving invisible paths through our galactic home. It reminds us that the universe is not just a place of bright lights, it is a place of hidden powers. This brings us to the third twist, the one that touches our own safety, the solar system disruption. When people think of black holes, they usually think about being swallowed. We imagine the Earth falling into the dark and being crushed. But in our library of the impossible, we have found that a rogue black hole doesn't have to hit us to destroy us. Its most dangerous weapon is its pull. If a rogue black hole, even a small one, were to pass through our solar system, it wouldn't need to swallow the Earth to end our world. Its gravity would be so strong that it would glitch the orbits of the planets. It could pull the Earth out of its comfortable path around the sun and send us drifting into the cold dark of interstellar space, or it could push us into the sun itself. Before we explore the comforting truth about the scale of this danger, I want to pause and welcome you to our community of explorers. If you find peace in these journeys through the hidden corners of the universe and value this perspective on the mysteries that remind us of our fragility, please take a second to subscribe and like the video. It is your presence here that allows us to keep looking into the dark and sharing these long-form meditative journeys with the world. It is a small gesture, but it helps us keep the light of discovery burning in a universe of shadows. Now, let us return to the probability. Think about the silence of the interstellar void one more time. As frightening as a rogue black hole sounds, the fourth twist is the scale of space itself. The universe is so vast that even with millions of these assassins drifting through the Milky Way, the chances of one ever coming near our sun are incredibly small. We are like a single dust mote in a massive cathedral. The odds of a collision or a disruption are nearly zero. There is a strange, hypnotic peace in this realization. The universe hides monsters in the dark, but it also provides us with a shield of pure distance. We are protected by the sheer amount of nothingness that surrounds us. Most people carry the idea that the universe is a dangerous place because they think of the explosions and the black holes, but the rogue black holes show us that the universe is actually a quiet place. It is a place of long, patient drifts. Why did that one black hole get kicked out? Where is it going? These are the questions that keep researchers up at night. We think we have a map of our galaxy's stability, But these wanderers are a glitch that says the galaxy is more dynamic and more mysterious than we ever realized. We are looking at a history of mergers and violence that is written in the movements of the unseen. As you get sleepier and the silence of the room surrounds you, imagine the view from a ship safe in the distance, watching a rogue black hole pass by. You don't see the hole itself, you only see the way the stars behind it are twisted and warped, like looking through a drop of water on a window. You see the silent, graceful bending of reality. You realize that you are looking at the ultimate traveler. It has no home, no fuel, and no end to its journey. It is a part of the universe that has found absolute freedom. There is no noise here, no wind, just the rhythmic, silent pulse of gravity. You are safe here. You are just an observer watching the universe move its most powerful pieces. Let the invisibility of these wanderers make your own life feel light and effortless. Compared to a monster that can move through the dark for eternity, the weights you carry are as light as starlight. But as mysterious as a rogue black hole is, the universe has things that are just as strange, but on a scale that doesn't just challenge our galaxy, it challenges our reality. In our library of the impossible, we have found signals that don't just come from the dark of space, but from the dark of other spaces. We have found cold spots and glitches in the afterglow of the Big Bang that suggest our universe isn't the only one. We have found evidence that we might be part of an infinite foam of multiverses. Take a final, slow breath and let the silent drift of the rogue black hole fade into the background of your mind. We are leaving the assassins behind. We are zooming out to the ultimate scale, the scale of the multiverse. We are heading toward the evidence of other realities, a mystery that isn't about the objects in our dark, but about the boundaries of our universe itself. The tension is shifting from the unseen to the unknown. The scale is shifting from the galaxy to the multiverse. Let us move to the next mystery in our library of the strange. The multiverse evidence. The journey continues. The boundaries are breaking. Let us move forward. Tonight we arrive at the final frontier of our thought experiment. We have moved from the atoms to the stars, from the galaxies to the massive, invisible web that holds them all. We have faced the silent assassins of the dark and the flickering shadows of mysterious suns. But now, we are going to look at something that doesn't just challenge our science, it challenges our very existence. Today we explore the idea that our entire universe, with its 2 trillion galaxies and its 92 billion light-year span, might be nothing more than a single, tiny bubble in an infinite, cosmic foam. We are heading toward the evidence of the multiverse. In our library of the impossible, this is the final revelation. It is the discovery that suggests our reality is just one page in a book that has no end. Imagine as you lie there in the soft, dark silence of your room that you are looking at the sky one last time. We have been taught that the Big Bang was the beginning of everything. We were told that before that moment there was nothing, and after that moment there was only us. We were wrong. In the last few years, as our maps of the oldest light in the universe have become more detailed, scientists have found glitches in the afterglow of creation. These glitches are subtle, tiny variations in temperature and ripples in the cosmic background radiation, but they point toward a reality that is far more complex than a single universe. This brings us to the first major twist of the ultimate scale, the cosmic bruise. In 2003, a telescope called WMAP detected a cold spot in the sky, in the direction of the constellation Eridanus. It is a region of space that is much colder and much emptier than it should be. For decades, it was a glitch that no one could explain, but some physicists believe we are looking at the mark of a collision. They suggest that in the very early moments of our Big Bang, another universe, another massive bubble of reality, brushed against ours. This cold spot might be a cosmic bruise, the physical footprint of another world pressing into our own. It is a sign that the wall of our universe isn't a solid barrier, but a thin, flexible membrane. Think about that scale of connection as you settle deeper into your rest. We think of ourselves as isolated and alone in the void, but the multiverse theory suggests that we are part of a vast, breathing sea of bubbles. Today we explore the concept of eternal inflation. It is the idea that the process that created our universe is happening over and over again, forever. In this vast eternal field of energy, new Big Bangs are constantly popping into existence, each one creating a new universe with its own stars, its own black holes, and its own laws of physics. Some of these universes might be identical to ours, others might be so alien that atoms can't even form. It is a glitch in the idea of uniqueness. If the multiverse is real, then everything that can happen is happening somewhere in the dark. As you drift further into relaxation, let your mind rest on the second twist, the infinite you. This is the most mind-bending mystery in our library. If space and time are truly infinite in the multiverse, then there are only so many ways that matter can be arranged. Eventually, the patterns must repeat. This means that somewhere out there, trillions of light years beyond our cosmic horizon, there is another bubble exactly like this one. There is another Earth, another room, and another version of you, lying there in the dark, listening to these same words. It is a glitch in our sense of self. We are not just travelers of the stars, we are participants in an infinite number of stories. There is a strange, hypnotic peace in this realization. You are not a lonely point of awareness in a dead void. You are part of an infinite, shimmering tapestry of life and possibility. But as mysterious as an infinite foam of universes is, we eventually have to return to the only reality we can touch. We have looked at the farthest reaches of the unknown to find the meaning of our existence, but our journey tonight is ending where it all began. In our library of the impossible, we have found that after seeing the monsters, the giants, and the multiverses, the strangest and most mysterious thing of all is actually the place we call home. Take a final, slow breath and let the infinite bubbles of the multiverse fade into the background of your mind. We are leaving the boundaries of reality behind. We are zooming all the way back in, from the scale of the infinite to the scale of the heart. We are heading toward the final mystery, the one that doesn't defy physics but defines it. The tension is gone. The journey is complete. Let us move to the final chapter of our story. The miracle of home. Tonight we begin our final descent. We have wandered across the infinite, standing at the very edge of the expanding universe where galaxies fade into the long infrared shadows of the cosmic dawn. We have imagined the needle of light, the crushing power of the magnets, and the folding of space itself. We have looked at our own history through the lens of a trillion-year timeline and the collective memory of a generation ship. We have even seen our souls change, adapting to the cold, beautiful brilliance of the void. But as we drift through the final layers of this thought experiment, we find ourselves being pulled by a familiar gravity. It is not the pull of a black hole or the weight of a supercluster. It is something much more powerful. It is the pull of home. Today we drift into the final realization of our journey, that in a universe of 2 trillion galaxies and infinite multiverses, the most mysterious thing we have ever found is the one we started from. We went to the stars to find the impossible, but we found it right here. Imagine, as you lie there in the deep, peaceful stillness of your room, that you are returning from a journey that lasted 10,000 years. Behind you, the stars are beginning to settle into their familiar patterns. The vast, terrifying distances of the intergalactic void are now behind you. You are re-entering the Milky Way, drifting through the Orion Spur, and searching for a tiny yellow star that was once just a coordinate in your ship's computer. As that star grows brighter and more familiar, you see it, the pale blue dot, suspended in the sunbeam, glowing like a sapphire in a desert of black ash. From the edge of the universe, it was a single pixel. But as we drift closer, it expands into a world of liquid water, breathable air, and a biological symphony that exists nowhere else in the known cosmos. This is the great irony of the cosmic explorer. We look for habitable zones around distant red dwarfs, but we forget that we are already living in the most perfect sanctuary ever discovered. We have found worlds where it rains glass and stars that turn into diamonds, but we have found nothing like the smell of damp earth after a rainstorm. We have found nothing like the sound of wind through the trees or the feeling of a warm sun on a summer afternoon. Earth is the ultimate anomaly. It is the only place where the universe has decided to stop being silent and start being loud. It is the place where atoms forged in the hearts of dying stars have learned how to breathe, how to walk, and how to love. Every time you take a breath, you are inhaling the remnants of supernovas that occurred billions of years ago. You are the universe experiencing itself, and Earth is the stage where that experience is at its most beautiful. If you have found peace in this journey and value the perspective we have built together tonight, I invite you to subscribe and leave a like. It is a small act of connection that helps us keep exploring the vastness and the intimacy of our cosmos together. Now the time has come to let go of the maps. The lights of our ship are fading. The distant nebulae and the glowing cores of galaxies are receding into the background of your mind. The hum of the engines has been replaced by the absolute quiet of your room. You have returned from the edge of everything. You have crossed the light years and the eons, and you have come back to the only place where you truly belong. Feel the weight of your body as it settles into the surface beneath you. You are safe, you are grounded, you are home. Do not fear the dark, for it is the same dark that holds the stars in place. Do not fear the silence, for it is the same silence that gives the light its meaning. Close your eyes now. Let the last of the cosmic imagery fade into a soft, dark blur. The needle of light has reached its harbor. The wanderer has found their rest. Tomorrow you will wake on the same pale blue dot, but perhaps you will see it differently. Today we drifted, today we explored, but tonight we rest. The journey is over, the wonder remains, and peace is absolute. Sleep well. Good night.